Look, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't have any idea what to say about that. That was just, God, man. I didn't get a video out immediately because I had to go to work right after, and I was really pissed off. I didn't want to make a video without actually calming down for a second and actually like thinking about it and thinking about what I was going to say. And you know, the bottom line here is this: is that yes, we lost 38-6. We looked awful the entire game. It was just, I don't know, man. They're not a great offense, and they somehow just rolled us, dude. Rolled us offensively. I was having New England flashbacks from week 2 of the season. I just, I don't know, man. You know, and it's like, this is why I wasn't sold on this team, and you know, this was a huge game, and I know that it was the Ravens. I know they had the #1 defense. I knew this was going to be a tough game. I really wasn't honestly expecting Miami to go in and win this game anyway, but I wasn't expecting us to look that awful. That was just, I don't know what to say about that. Ryan Tannehill looked god awful today, man. I mean, that's that. There's no other way of putting that. He looked terrible today. I think the running game for the most part looked pretty decent. It was we were getting good yards per carry, but we were just down the entire game. There was just no reason for us to even run the ball. Which was kind of weird because actually the first couple drives we were actually kind of driving on their defense, and I was actually honestly shocked. I thought that our defense was going to play much better than our offense, and actually our offense seemed to play better than our defense did. Even though neither one of them played good by any stretch of the imagination, they both played like shit. But I just yeah, man, I don't have words for this game right now. So, I mean, I'm not going to harp on the game as much as I would like to, because it was just bad, man. We need to just forget about it. And honestly, you know, this team hasn't played good against great teams at all this year anyway. And really what this year was supposed to be about, and what it still needs to be about at this point, it's not about playoffs. It's not about looking towards that. This is about, for some of these guys like Ryan Tannehill and some of these dudes that need to prove themselves more, this is a year for them to prove themselves. But it's also a year for Adam Gase to kind of get this thing going and get the new era started. And you know, this wasn't a season where we should have really been expecting anything anyway. It's just disappointing for them to come this far. And I mean, season's still not over. We're still 7-5. We can still run the table and go 11-5. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Chances of that happening are very, very slim. But I'm just saying anything is possible in the NFL. But this season for me still was about just trying to build something new. And again, like I said in previous videos, I've seen some things in Adam Gase that I really like. We do need a couple pieces, which we seem to say that every single year. So, I mean, this team still has a lot to prove, obviously, after today. But, I mean, even still, at the end of the season, even if we finish 9-7 or 10-6 and just make the playoffs or just miss the playoffs, this team still has a long way to go before they're going to be in Super Bowl contention, definitely. But, honestly, even still, again, the season is not over, so I'm not saying the season isn't over. But even at this point, man, we have to be honestly satisfied with most of what we've seen so far, with the way this team has fought back from being 1-4 to, you know, just the overall improvement that we've seen in a lot of these guys. And honestly, this is me trying to be very positive about what happened today, because today was just god-awful, man. So that's the one thing that I keep trying to tell myself, is that I wasn't really looking at this team as a playoff team to begin with. And the Baltimore Ravens, regardless of what their record was last year, and regardless of what anybody has to say about Joe Flacco, that is still an elite defense. That is still a team that can be considered as in contention for a Super Bowl right now. And honestly, that defense could probably give Tom Brady and the Patriots a little bit of a hard time, I think. So it's not like we were going to roll in there and just roll Baltimore. Even still in a closely contested game, it still would have been hard for us to pull this game out anyway. So I guess if you can even really call it a good thing, I guess another good thing is that they didn't keep us around till the end of the game to lose it. They just lost the game instantly in the first half. So, but the other thing I need to address is, man, this fan base, dude, we need to relax. We need to chill out, dude. Like, it's just funny how, you know, you go on Facebook, you go on social media, you go on all these sites, man, and it's like during the 6-game win streak, dude, everybody's just like, hoorah, hoorah, Dolphins, yay, yay, Dolphins. Everybody's flashing their colors and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden we lose. Like, granted, it was a horrible loss, but we lose this one game after we just won 6 straight, and everybody's like, this team sucks, they're garbage, blah, 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 get rid of Tannehill, Tannehill's garbage, when 6 weeks ago up until now, nobody was saying anything bad about Tannehill. I mean, there was probably still people complaining about him, but nobody was complaining that loudly because we were winning. And then all of a sudden now we lose one game, and now everybody is just freaking ready to get rid of the guy again. So it's like, this fan base, man, we gotta chill, dude. And it's like, heading into this game, who honestly sat there and thought, I'm not going to say we didn't have a chance to win this game, but who actually honestly sat there and thought that we were going to come in and roll the Baltimore Ravens, that we were going to come in and, you know, and honestly pull this one out, man. I was sitting in my head this entire week trying to figure out how we were going to beat this team, man. Their defense was too good, and our defense is not good enough for us to be able to stop a quarterback like Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is not an elite quarterback by any means, but Joe Flacco is still a guy that is susceptible to have great games like that. And, you know, so I was sitting there trying to figure out in my head how we were going to win this game anyway. You know, you can call me a bad fan, whatever you want, man. I'm just being realistic, dude. We didn't really have that much of a shot to win this game as it is. So, you know, everybody needs to chill, man. Especially because, you know, did you guys honestly think we were going to make the playoffs this year? I mean, it's still not out of the question. But, I mean, even if we go, who are we going to beat in the playoffs? Who? We lost to Seattle, to New England, to Cincinnati, and now to Baltimore. That's 4 great teams that we lost to in their home stadium. So if we get the 6th seed or the 5th seed because we backed our way into the playoffs and we lose first round of the playoffs, what is the difference? What is the point? You know, for me, I would like to see us finish with a winning record, 9-7, 10-6. It doesn't matter really if we go to the playoffs because I want to just see this team grow. I definitely want to see this next week's game because I want to see how we respond to a bad loss like this, especially to a team like the Cardinals, who right now this year aren't really great, but they still have a lot of talented guys like Larry Fitzgerald, David Johnson, Carson Palmer can still have a good day. You know, Patrick Peterson and that defense is still a decent defense. You know, I want to see how we respond, but, you know, we haven't been able to beat great teams this year anyway. This fan base, man, we need to chill out for a second, dude. We need to stop trying to fire everybody, man. I understand if you're not sold on Tannehill. I'm still not sold on Tannehill. A lot of us still aren't, but, you know, when the guy has been given time this year, he's showing what he can do. He's good enough, I think, for us to win. We need to put pieces around him. He's not a great elite guy that's going to bust a game wide open, that's going to be a Derek Carr kind of player that's going to just light everybody up. It's not going to happen. You know, but you don't necessarily need that to win and be successful. I don't think. You know, I think we need to invest more of our time and more of our money into things that are going to help the rest of the team. Quarterback is not the biggest need on this team by any means. Oh my god, I'm honestly, like, you know, I mean, yeah, the game didn't look good in the second quarter when we were down 21-0, even at 14-0, dude, fans were already talking about, game's over, that's it, it's over, done, stick a fork in it. It's like, dude, this is the most fair-weathered fan base I have ever seen in my entire life, man. The 6-game win streak just means nothing. Everybody just quits and gives up in the second quarter of a game. And this was when we were only down 14-0 at that point. I understand we weren't looking good. Joe Flacco was torching us. Our offense was turning the ball over. We were driving down and just not doing anything with it when we got down to that point. I understand all that, man, but at some point, you got to step back and just think about it for a second, man. Teams make adjustments, and anything can happen, you know. And obviously, nothing did happen. I wasn't saying, you know, me personally, I wasn't saying, hey, we're going to come back, but I wasn't sitting there down 14-0 and even 21-0 saying game's over. No. It was over towards the end of the third quarter when I don't even remember what the score was at that point, man. I was just... But, you know, that's it, man. I think us as Miami fans, we need to dial it back. We need to chill out for a second and just think, how realistic are our chances of going deep into the playoffs this year? You know, even if we make it, even if we get the 5th or the 6th seed, just like I said before, who are we going to beat? Whose stadium are we going to go into and win? Honestly, I don't even think we can roll up into Houston and win that one. And even their offense isn't that great either. So, even though they're probably not going to win their division anyway, the Colts or the Titans are probably going to win that division. But even still, neither one of those teams I think we can beat. I don't think we can. I damn sure don't think we can beat New England with Tom Brady and all those guys healthy. You know, I know we beat Pittsburgh earlier in the season, but we're not going to travel to Pittsburgh and beat them if they win their division. And obviously, we saw we're not going to roll into Baltimore and beat them. You know, it's just these great teams that we play on the road. We can't beat them. And I'm not saying that right now that's an issue because we're still a team that's learning. We're still a team that's building. So it's not something that we need to stress so much about. It's hard to when you're in the moment. I understand, but we just gotta chill. We gotta take it game by game and not worry about it. I'm not holding my breath on playoffs this season. Again, I even said it in my last video too, man. I'm just looking on to the next game. We play Arizona next, I believe, and then I believe it's the Jets on Sunday night. It is right? I believe, yeah. Yeah, Cardinals this weekend, and then next Sunday we play the Jets on Sunday Night Football. Every game on the schedule, I think I said it again in my last video, every game left on the schedule is a winnable game, but it's also a losable game. There are games that I can see us winning, but there are games I can also see us losing. So I think these last couple of weeks are going to be very telling for me as to what kind of team we have, and we're going to see if we can still continue to build off of any of these pieces. I have no idea what they're going to do with Ryan Tannehill. I don't know if he will be the quarterback next year. I think Adam Gase still wants a little bit more time with him. I could definitely see Miami drafting a quarterback to kind of start working on in the background in case Tannehill doesn't work out. But I think they're still trying to give him a little bit more of a chance in this Adam Gase offense. Honestly, again, it doesn't really matter to me. We got to put more pieces around this team. It doesn't matter who's under center. If we can't protect them, if we can't get receivers that can get open, if we can't run the football consistently, it doesn't matter who we put under center. They're not going to be very successful unless you get Peyton Manning or somebody super, or you find that Brett Favre guy that can just improv and just make it happen for you out of nowhere. And, you know, again, Dolphin fans act like those guys just grow on trees, man. They don't. And that's the bottom line is they don't. So, you know, if you have a better option than Ryan Tannehill, let's hear it, man. But right now, there's not. And I don't care, even if the guy is terrible, even if he throws 30 interceptions every season, he's a Dolphin, man. I gotta fly with the Dolphins no matter what. So that's it, man. Dolphins lose 38-6, snap their 6-game winning streak, and now we are on to the Cardinals. We are still 7-5, so still not a bad record by any means. But I definitely want to see how this team answers this next weekend in Arizona. So I will catch you guys later in my next video.